Mario Kart is a series of spin-off games that I'm very familiar with. I've played most of the games in the series, and while some are better than others, I do enjoy them. And there is one specific set of tracks that are most iconic with the series. One that anyone with less than 1 hour of playtime fears and causes pain to anyone on 200cc. That being Rainbow Road. Although N64 is actually really easy on 200 and so is Switch. Right, ignore what I just said. I love Rainbow Road tracks. For the most part, they are the most iconic tracks from their respective games, and tracks that people have very strong relationships with. Right, time to shit on some of them for the sake of content. So today, I'm going to be ranking every Rainbow Road course from worst to best. This is something I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm happy I get to now. And of course, keep in mind that this is all just my opinion, and my favourite track may not correlate to your favourite track. And if I say your favourite track is shit, that's just how the cookie crumbles. I can't change that. And of course, no spin-off tracks are included in this video, as I really don't know them that well. Anyways, let's go on to number 13 on this list. Number 13. N64 Rainbow Road. I'm sure that anyone who hasn't played the original with Mario Kart 64 must be yelling at their screen right now, telling me that I'm stupid and that I have no taste in Mario Kart tracks. To that I say, would you like a 6-minute long race? Because that one lap that you do on the whole track in Mario Kart 8 is only one lap in Mario Kart 64, which makes the track ridiculously long. Not only that, but the track barely has any obstacles aside from the occasional chain chomp that you see running around the track, which makes it even more dull to play. I just find myself wishing the track will be over soon, but then having to do the whole 2-minute lap 2 times over. That on top of the funky controlling of Mario Kart 64, plus the amount of railing taking away from the original dangers of Rainbow Road, made it land at the bottom of the list. But, if nothing else, at least the music slaps. Number 12. Switch Rainbow Road. Yeah, I put the Switch variant of Rainbow Road at the bottom of my list. Say what you want about it, but I don't like it. Every Rainbow Road track does something interesting, except maybe SNES, but that was the original, so in comparison, yeah, it does nothing overly interesting. N64 has the length, GBA has the hopping ramps and verticality, GCN has the cannon, DS has inversions, Wii utilises its trekking and half-pipe mechanic, on top of being the most iconic and difficult Rainbow Road, and 3DS was one big lap. Not only that, but most of the tracks are very nostalgic music. Switch not only fails on both nostalgic music and utilising anything unique, but it also doesn't feel like a Rainbow Road, considering you drive through a space station. It's also just in general not as fun. Number 11. GBA Rainbow Road. Mario Kart Super Circuit was, of course, restricted by going back to 2D after Mario Kart 64, so I'm sure they did a lot less than what they actually wanted to do. But even then, it's still a bit off to me. The usage of hopping ramps on the edges, while they are better than railings, it still removes the danger of falling off, which is what Rainbow Road is known for, especially since you can do this shit because of it. I can guarantee if GBA Rainbow Road were to come back in the DLC, I reckon if these issues persist, then this track will be horrible to play online. But if they were fixed in a similar vein to the other GBA tracks, I reckon it could be fun. Although it does have the same issue with the lack of nostalgia through the music, but at least it does have one part that could be nostalgic. Number 10. SNES Rainbow Road in Mario Kart Super Circuit. SNES Rainbow Road has a total of 4 iterations, which makes it the most used track in the entire series. So there being a lot of this track, it's likely that one will be worse than the others, and the worst version of it is the version in Mario Kart Super Circuit. The gameplay is mainly the same, which is understandable, although for some reason the thwomps were removed, which makes no sense considering they had thwomps in Bowser Castle. Not only that, but the music is a massive downgrade from the SNES. The sound fonts don't necessarily not work, but the main idea is made to be the repetitive notes. And while this is an issue that I have with the SNES version, it's a lot more prominent in the GBA remake because of the other instruments being a lot quieter in the build-up, making the music just feel repetitive. Overall, if you want to play SNES Rainbow Road, it'd be smart to play any of the other games that it's in, which is half the Mario Kart games in the series, so you won't struggle finding it. Number 9. 3DS Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 3DS Rainbow Road is one of the better Rainbow Road tracks, but the Switch remake of it is not as good. For starters, the road is just not appealing to look at. When I first played on the track, I saw the road and was like, damn, this is trippy. And while I've gotten used to it, I still much prefer the design of the road in every other iteration of Rainbow Road. This isn't even a consistency issue either. The original in Mario Kart 7 didn't have this road design. I get that they want remakes to be different, but if they get to a point where it causes issues, then they should stick to what they had originally. Although they are heavily inconsistent with how faithful they want their remakes to be in the DLC, with no good middle ground. Look at you, Sky Garden and Waluigi Pinball. Number 8. GCN Rainbow Road. I'll be honest here, I haven't played Double Dash. I know, sue me. I'll get around to it at some point, and I'm sure that if I had played it, it would have probably ranked a lot higher in this list. But a lot of my issues with prior tracks are very persistent here. The railing on this track ruins what Rainbow Road is supposed to be, once again, although it's not as bad as the other versions. Hey, editing Ari here. I kind of realised that GCN Rainbow Road didn't really have much railing. Like, looking back, it didn't have nearly as much as I thought it did. Like, some of my complaints are still valid, but I feel like I spoke way too much about it, so ignore what I said. Although I don't think it would change my placement of it. I think it would probably still rank 8th, mainly just because I think that the other tracks are a lot better. But the music is nostalgic and even reuses the melody from N64 Rainbow Road, which is a nice touch. That on top of the layout being interesting, plus the cannon towards the end of the track, definitely helps it beat the other tracks that are lower down, although I definitely prefer the other tracks that I haven't mentioned yet. Number 7. SNES Rainbow Road. This track beats the GBA remake because of the music being better and the thwomps being present. Otherwise, it's essentially the same track. I'm not going to go into detail about it because there's still 2 more versions of this track, and a lot of what I'll say here I'd end up repeating later when I talk about the other variants. Speaking of... Number 6. SNES Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 7. The 3DS version of SNES Rainbow Road is a massive upgrade. Mario Kart 7 had a very good selection of retro tracks, and although the quality of said tracks are arguable, the remake of SNES Rainbow Road is great. The thwomps now flow the track, making great use of the tricking mechanic, and creating a more enjoyable track to play on. This compared to the other variations we've talked about, alongside the upscaling to make it only require 3 laps, makes it a lot more enjoyable to play on. The music is also a nice remaster that doesn't stray too far from the original, and I like it a lot. Number 5. 3DS Rainbow Road. Now I know what you're probably thinking. 3DS Rainbow Road shares a lot of the same issues with Switch, what with the whole not being on a Rainbow Road thing. Yes, you drive on the planets, and that isn't something I'm a big fan of. The reason why this place is so high is because of how the track plays. There is still a lot of rainbow in the road, and the layout is interesting to play on. It utilises a lot of different mechanics like gliding, tricking, drifting, alongside having a nice and fun layout to play. Also again, the music is great. Once again, utilising the motif from N64 Rainbow Road. Although while it's definitely up there, there are still some other tracks that outclass it slightly. Number 4. Now I know that I've gone on a lot about the music in this video, but they perfected the intro. Every time this track is picked, I love it. But this version of N64 Rainbow Road heavily improved many of the issues that I had with the original. First of all, the entire track is only 1 lap. It's split up in a similar way to 3DS Rainbow Road, which makes it not as long and boring to play. Not only that, but there's not nearly as much railing as the original, which gives it some of the danger of falling off that it deserved. I also really enjoy playing on 200cc, as it has the perfect balance of flying through the track at high speeds and needing to control yourself to make sure you don't get Rainbow Roaded. And that doesn't even cover the massive improvements to the atmosphere and visuals of this track. Probably one of the most stunning tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and god am I happy it was in the base game and not the DLC. Number 3. SNES Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Hands down, this is the best iteration of SNES Rainbow Road. But you may be wondering, why the hell is this above N64? Simply put it, SNES Rainbow Road is the best track at being a Rainbow Road. And what I mean by that is the complete lack of railings means it is the textbook definition of what a Rainbow Road track is. And while N64 Rainbow Road in 8 Deluxe is a massive improvement over the original, it is also incredibly short due to the length of the track not being extended to compensate. SNES Rainbow Road didn't need that. It works better as a track as well as a Rainbow Road track. Also, the music in this slaps so hard. Now the repetitive notes are an accompaniment, and the other melodies take over after the first couple of bars, which I think improves the track immensely. Number 2. Wii Rainbow Road. Of course this one's going to rank high. Mario Kart Wii is one of the best Mario Kart games, and it's got a very good Rainbow Road track. If someone were to ask, what is a Rainbow Road track? You would show them Wii Rainbow Road without even hesitating. It is easily the hardest Rainbow Road track in the series, but that might be because I'm a Mark Bike main. But everything about Wii Rainbow Road is incredible. It helps a lot that Super Mario Galaxy was the mainline Mario game to be released on the Wii, so this track is filled with references, for example, the star bits flying around. Its music, once again, is phenomenal, and is easily put at the second best Rainbow Road. Whether or not I'm biased to Wii doesn't matter, it's a great track, however, not the best. And number 1. DS Rainbow Road. Anyone who's known me for longer than 3 seconds probably saw this coming from a mile away. I love Mario Kart DS, and I refuse to change my mind on the fact that it has the best Rainbow Road. The layout is the best we've seen, starting with a spiral going up, only to throw you through a vertical loop. The track goes on to throw you through a corkscrew version later on. DS Rainbow Road did Mario Kart 8's gimmick 9 years earlier. Twice! Not only that, but the music is again amazing. This track was made for the DS, and when I say I cried listening to it again, I mean it. I really did. Everything about Mario Kart DS is so nostalgic to me, and whether I'm not unblinded by nostalgia is up for debate, but I don't care. DS Rainbow Road is easily my favourite Rainbow Road track, and likely always will be. Also, you can play as Rob on this version of Rainbow Road, so it's automatically superior. And there we have it. There is every single Rainbow Road track ranked. Did you agree with my list? What are your opinions on every track? Let me know in a comment below. Rereading the script, I noticed I was ragging on the DLC tracks a lot, so I may potentially make a video on why I don't like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see that in the future. Also, be sure to like if you enjoyed, it really helps out more than you would think. And until next time, goodbye.